Hey, there we go. What's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing today? I want to thank you, like always, for tuning in on your Monday evening to the Take Flight Spittin' Fire podcast. We're going to be spitting fire, talking to you guys about those Jets. We got a mock we're going to get to. Again, appreciate all of you tuning in on your Monday evenings to listen to me talk about them Jets. Remember, we can interact in the comment section, post any questions, post any ideas. Again, we're going to get to that mock, but before we do, I thought it'd be interesting, to talk to you guys a little bit about the evolution of the NFL a little bit, in a way. So it started the other day when, if you guys remember, I tweeted about David Harris. Remember, it was Throwback Thursday. Throwback Thursday. David Harris, one of my favorite defenders ever on the Jets. I grew up watching David Harris. Man, he was my guy when he was paired with Bart Scott. That was a tandem, man. That was it. That's what we got to find at linebacker again, I'm hoping. But when I tweeted that, I noticed a lot of people were saying, these hits wouldn't be good nowadays. That hit where, David Harris just murdered, I'm pretty sure it was Matt Moore, just murdered him. His parents felt the hit. It's not a legal hit anymore because you can't put your body into the quarterback. So it's interesting. Again, shout out. I see more people joining. Thank you guys for being here. It's interesting to watch this transition, of all the positions within the NFL. A lot of you guys, I know I'm, 31 years old. I've been watching my fair share of football. Some of you guys have been there from the beginning. Shout out, Mr. John. Appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for chiming in. Remember, you guys can always chime in the chat. Zachary, what's up, my man? Oh, I'm going to come back to that. Oh, man, that's a dagger in the heart. Oh, if you guys can see that. Man down. I'm going to come back to that. Let me come back to that because that's some interesting stuff. I want to talk about that. But we look at, the transition, the way the league has gone in a lot of different positions, a lot of different, really everything. It's a different league. Like we're saying, I remember the NFL being a certain way. Like, shout out to Frank, man. Frank said he's 17. He's young in this Jet cycle. Well, then let me, talk to you about it because I'm a big, football guy, not just, looking at going on what's now, but, looking at history as well. So you look at something like the quarterback position, for example. The quarterback position, back in the day, when the NFL was, originally kicking, it wasn't like you guys see today. It wasn't, drop back, throw the ball. It was a different position. It was more, laterals, short passes, running a lot. For the main thing, the football was like not 4 times, but it was bigger than it was now. That thing was like throwing a rock. I think that was the Duke, I believe, at the time. Don't quote me. There's like 7 different evolutions of the football, which is pretty cool. If you guys want to check it out, you can see the football go from bigger to smaller to more aerodynamic as the league became more of a passing league. It's really fascinating. But back in the beginning of the league, especially when the quarterback position started to really come about, it was like throwing a rock, man. There was no, spiral really with this thing at the point until a certain man came in. I don't know if any of you guys know this, maybe John. I don't know if you guys know who the man is that basically developed the modern quarterback position. Shout out to Rockaway Archie, man. He says he's been a Jets fan since back before your dad was born, probably, Frank. What's up? Oh, my man Jimmy's here. This is awesome, guys. So shout out to Jimmy. You guys remember Jimmy did a mock, back with me 2 weeks ago. It was awesome having him on. He talked to you guys all about what was going on, with the draft. He's dialed in. We talked about a lot of prospects. Glad to have him here. But what we're talking about right now is the history of the NFL. The modern quarterback position was actually developed by Johnny Unitas. Ironically, the quarterback the Jets beat in Super Bowl III. It wasn't originally Johnny Unitas. Originally, it was Earl Morrall playing the game, but you got Johnny U on the bench. You're losing the game. You freaking put in Johnny U. So Johnny U played the second half of that game. Now, like we were saying before, the football was weirdly shaped. It wasn't thrown very much. It was lateral passes, short. Johnny Unitas created the modern quarterback position, which is an interesting fact. Dropping back, throwing downfield, actually, in a way created, more modern receivers because receivers weren't really as much of a thing. Again, all receiving was, chuck passes, short passes, quick in routes, behind the line of scrimmage, trying to, get down. The majority of time it was running. And that's another transition. And that wasn't even that long ago back. Jimmy, I know you can remember this, bunch of you guys going back, when I was a kid, like let's say, 15 years ago, it was all about the running back, man. That was the key. That was your meal ticket. You guys remember the days of Jerome Bettis, the bus, the Curtis Martin carrying us through the end zone, being the guy? Man, the running back used to be the it position. That was it. You had these big, beefy linemen that maybe they could pass block, but their job was to knock people over. Their job was to make gaps. And it was beautiful. It was fun. Football was more, more ground and pound, as the term they like to use in that situation. Man, that was good stuff. But as you guys know, the running back position has evolved. And that kind of brings me into what we're getting at, what I want to transition into. We're a lot better off at running back than people realize. The modern NFL, the running back is not favored. I mean, come on. You can name Ezekiel Elliott and maybe a handful of guys that are, featured backs, like the it guy, the guy making the big money. Most backfields nowadays are created by committees that complement each other. Committees like the Jets currently have, guys. You got Ty Johnson, a speedy, twitchy back that's very fast, very elusive, but a good pass catcher. You got Josh Adams, who is a freaking bull. Josh Adams is going to blow through that line. The basic math, you guys remember, the straightest distance between 2 points is a straight line. That was, remember, Chris Ivory back in the day? That was Sean Green. That's Josh Adams. That man is a straight line runner, but averages a decent amount of yards because he's actually quite fast for a guy his size, and he can catch the ball. These guys really complement well, especially, going into now what we have. And that's why, me and Jimmy talked about it, the skill positions, wide receiver. That was the next one I was going to transition into. Going back to, I remember, when I was a kid, again, 10, 15, 20 years ago, you had to have that wide receiver one. Like, think back. You remember all the great teams back then had a guy you could mention, like that was their it guy. You had to have a wide receiver one. Look at Eli Manning when he beat, Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. He had Burris making the game-winning catch. Brady, when he had those great years, he had Moss. That was the way it was. It's not that way anymore. The league is designed differently. You make your bank now, not with one great guy, but a stable of good guys that can equally produce and, again, complement each other, and the quarterback finds them open. We have one of the best slot receivers in the NFL in Jamison Crowder. You guys remember I was saying, people that wanted to transition from him were out of their mind. Like, just because he's making $11 million and it's not all guaranteed, let's cut him. No, Jamison Crowder is awesome. So he's going to be great. Cory Davis, and remember you guys had talked about him, legit could be a wide receiver one, but at minimum, at base is a wide receiver two. And Mims, you guys remember we talked about it as well. Check out my, past podcasts. That guy could be a wide receiver one too. There's no reason why not. He had one rookie year. He was supposed to be a first-round pick. He had injuries in his first year, and he put up comparable numbers to guys like Allen Robinson, any of those big guys in their first year. He's played 1 year. So Mims, Davis, Cole's in the situation. Man, Keelan Cole has made some highlight reel catches. We're better off at the skill positions than people realize. We have a good stable of wide receivers, good running backs, and again, just that interesting transition of the NFL. Like I said, when I was a kid, the running back was the it factor. You had to have that wide receiver one. It's different now. Nowadays, you guys know it's a pass-heavy league. That's why the running back is not really been phased out, but is more of a complementary piece, as opposed to before, which was the piece in a lot of offenses. Back then, the running back was the piece. I mean, you guys remember the Matt Snell days and Emerson Boozer? Like, that was good stuff, but that's not what the NFL is anymore. So, but looking at some of your guys' questions, Zach says he's got to go. No problem, man. Appreciate you being here. He brings up, that he said, so reading what Zach was saying, I'll show you guys quick. So Zach brings up, I don't know if you guys have heard anything about it. I hadn't really heard anything about it yet. It says rumors that the Jets might not draft Wilson and that apparently some execs thinks the pick will be Fields. If anything, it's classic misdirection, but at the same time, we don't need misdirection right now. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is without a doubt going to be the first pick. I mean, you guys, I tweeted it today. Fans are giving money to charities. Urban Meyer has basically come out and said they're taking him. Other than literally saying we're taking Trevor Lawrence, they've done everything otherwise. So Trevor's their guy. And I don't see how we don't take Zach. I mean, I don't. You guys know how I feel. Zach's my guy. He fits this offense perfectly. If you guys watch Trey Lance's, other pro day today, you guys remember I was saying I liked even Trey Lance over Justin Fields. That I feel like Trey Lance is massively underappreciated. You guys know all the qualities I told you I like in Zach Wilson. You can see them in Trey Lance, even in his pro day. Moving out of the pocket, his fluidity. I mean, it's obviously more apparent in, a game situation where he makes certain decisions, certain reads, but I like what I see in him. Remember, my big issue was, D2, fear, plus I love Zach Wilson. Like, Zach Wilson's my guy. But if Zach Wilson was not in this draft, I would take Trey Lance. Trey Lance would be my guy. And I'm going to point out to, Jimmy. Jimmy made an excellent point the other day. Jimmy had said that he thinks if Trey Lance had stayed another year in school, that he'd be the number 1 overall pick next year. And you know what? He's probably not wrong. I really like what I see in Trey Lance. It's raw, but it's there. Same thing I like with Jamie Newman. A lot of people say, Kellen Mond is one of the later guys. I'm telling you guys, Jamie Newman is special. He sat out in 2020, so people forget. But watch him in 2019. Again, the things I look for, he has it. So I like that kid a lot. But I don't see how we don't take Zach. I mean, I don't. I just don't. That's my guy. It doesn't make sense to me. You guys remember I was on him from way back when I first started watching him. Remember, I was on Sam. Then finally everyone was like, Trevor Lawrence. I moved to Trevor Lawrence. Then everyone goes back to Sam, and I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. And right when I started evaluating the other prospects, I fell for Zach, and that was it. So, yeah, I just wanted to give you guys, a brief thing with the NFL I thought was interesting is to talk about the running back, those positions, the transition of the quarterback. But I'm ready. I know you guys are ready. It's the reason you guys tuned in. Let's get that draft cooking. So let's get into it. Let's share this screen. Okay, and we are in. We're rolling. Okay, let's go, baby. So, mock time. Let's mock it up. So, obviously, we're choosing the Jets. 7 rounds. And let's draft. I'm trying to imagine, Trevor Lawrence not going first. And like I just said before, it doesn't make sense. Like, it's not going to happen. So you guys know what I want to do. I mean, I've been telling you guys, forever what I want to do. So you guys know. You guys know I want to go, Zach Wilson at 2. He's my guy. Unequivocally, been on him a while. You guys know I love Creed Humphrey. You guys know I love Wyatt Davis with the next pick, building that line. So you guys know how, I feel. We've talked about it a lot. You guys tell me what you feel. If you don't want me to go with Zach Wilson, now's the time to say so. So, yeah. Any of you guys want to chime in? And you guys that are here, if you don't want me to go with Zach, James says go Zach. I mean, I don't get those rumors, man. That makes no sense to me. Like, misdirection doesn't make sense either unless they think the Jaguars, with that crazy, remember the Baker Mayfield year where it's like Sam's the guy and then they go Baker. That because Zach has been built into this, like what Trevor Lawrence was built into. Remember, Trevor Lawrence was built and built and built, and no one was talking about anyone else. Now, no one's been talking anything but Zach. It's been nothing but Zach lately. I can't see the Jaguars going with him. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think they're easily going to go with Trevor. People say, there's execs that are on Fields. I'm going to have to look into it, but I don't buy it, and I don't want to believe it. So James says go Zach. That's my guy. That's my guy. So I'm going Zach. No one else seems to object. So let's do it. Let's take Zach Wilson. Let's make it happen. Now, I want to point this out because I want to say this quick. You guys have noticed every time we have a mock, I tell you guys, how I feel about Trey Lance, how he checks all my boxes, would be my guy if it weren't for Zach. I tell him how it fits our system. Every single time the San Francisco 49ers in the PFN mock have taken Lance. Every time we've done it, go check back, guys. I don't think they've ever taken Fields. They always take Lance, and that makes the most sense to me. I see it happening. Number 1 is Trevor Lawrence. Number 2, I can't see how it's not going to be Zach again. And 3, I'm telling you guys, Trey Lance. Again, he fits the system, perfect in the system with the rollouts, the designated rollouts, his ability. I love it. Checks all the boxes I look for in Zach. And if there was no Zach here, I'd probably be taking Trey at the 2nd pick if Zach wasn't around. Now, you guys remember I told you about the Falcons. The Falcons are the most beautiful wild card. Yeah, John makes a good point. He says, he started looking at Fields and Wilson once the Jets got their first win. Loves how Zach fits in the system. But the problem is you fell in love with Josh Allen, which is funny, man, because I wasn't big on Josh Allen at all. Like, I'll admit it, that was the one guy, like in that draft, I was like, Josh Rosen is a bust. Josh Allen is a bust. Tread with caution. And I'll be honest, I'm not 100% wrong, because if you look at Josh Allen now, he's a totally different quarterback. Anyone would tell you he's completely transitioned. Totally different QB. Kudos to the amount of work that he's put in, to the ability that he's created. It's a totally different quarterback than who was drafted. So, but yeah, I did not think Josh Allen was going to make it. And I didn't want Sam Darnold, I'll be honest. I had the same USC stigma I had with Ohio State, and not just that, I wasn't a huge fan of Darnold. My guy, you guys remember, was Lamar Jackson. But I figured there's no way the Jets are going to reach for Lamar. They're not going to take him with the third pick. So I got him out of my head, and I got all on Baker. I was on the Baker train, and then I was shocked when he went 1. So the Falcons, like I said, wild card, they can either choose their sticking with Matt Ryan. Remember, we talked about this. Sticking with Matt Ryan, trade back, or take a top talent guy, or potentially take a quarterback. They can literally do anything. They chose to take an elite left tackle. Makes sense. That's a statement, in my opinion, that they're sticking with Matt Ryan. If something like that happened, they just got a generational left tackle in the draft. So kudos to them. I thought the Bengals would take Panay, so maybe they take Pitts, or they take Jamar Chase, and then the Dolphins take Devonta Smith. Oh, man. Okay, I think that's a mistake. If Devonta Smith goes off the board before Kyle Pitts, Miami's GM's got to get his head checked. There's got to be an examination going on. So another funny thing I've mentioned, the Lions. I think this happened in the last mock we did too. The Lions also took Justin Fields. I love it. Because, again, I'm not sold on Justin Fields, but I never liked Jared Goff. You guys remember I told you Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, two guys I was not a big fan of whatsoever. I thought that whole top of that draft class was not going to be good. So I think that's hysterical because, again, they got multiple first-round picks in the trade they made. So, yeah, that'll be interesting if they do take Justin Fields. So, okay, keep rolling through. Jalen Waddle, Rashad. Patrick Surtain, I feel like at the Cowboys is a lock. I don't see how that's not. Wait. Okay, I don't know how realistic that is, guys, but the Giants took a quarterback. I don't think that, I can't see that happening. Like that's not happening. The Giants took Mac Jones. Man, I'm trying to imagine that reality right now because Daniel's their guy. I mean, if anything, it'd be interesting. You got the two Joneses. You got Daniel Jones and Mac Jones. Who's the Jones that's going to make it? Kyle Pitts making it to 13 is a travesty. Like, that's insanity. Like, that's almost like I want to trade up to get him because he went at 13. Like, that's crazy. Kyle Pitts doesn't go at 13. I don't know what's going on there. So J.C. Horn to the Patriots. You guys know that's my corner. That'll break my heart. Oh, man, that's devastating right there. J.C. Horn to the Patriots. Oh, I was just about to say. Okay, I was like, man. I think you guys know where I was going. That's why I'm making a face. If you guys remember my takes on Twitter, I was about to say, if Owusu Kamara was still on the board, he would be worth taking the pick and then trying to use the later picks to trade back up. Man, that's funny. Well, Owusu's gone. So, but interesting thing, though, if I may, you guys remember, I think I gave this take on Twitter. If you didn't check it out, there's two players, just two, that I would be willing to, try to possibly get around through. So Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah and J.C. Horn are two of my favorite players in this draft. J.C. Horn is going to be an elite corner at the next level. The kid's amazing. I've been watching him for 2 years. He was a sleeper of mine before this last season started. Then the word got out. Owusu-Koramoah is arguably better than Micah Parsons because he's better in coverage. He's unbelievably more lateral and more agile, and his field vision is ridiculous. So Parsons gets the better blitz, but honestly, I give the rest are probably Koramoah. Koramoah won the Butkus Award for the best linebacker this year. So they're both gone. But if Owusu-Koramoah, he just literally went. If he was still available, man, what I'm doing, I don't know if you guys would agree, I would get on the phone with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you guys remember my take, I would offer the 34th, the 87th, and the 155th to move into 24. Now, that's more than a fair trade. Actually gives the Steelers more of a metric because I want to be inclined to have them take the trade. But here's the thing, though. That's where it gets interesting. So if I can make that trade, and it's not a bad trade because you guys know we have 2 third-round picks, and 87 is the second of the third, and we have 2 fifth-round picks, and 155 is the second of the fifth. So you still have a third and a fifth. You're giving away the second third and the second fifth, and you're moving up to 24. So if I can do that, then I take Owusu Koromoa so fast because I was hoping he'd still be there, and then I take Creed. If I can't do that, that tells me, as me and Jimmy, shout out to Jimmy, mentioning, Creed, as we've talked about, my man, Creed, that means the Steelers are taking Creed. I think if the Steelers aren't willing to make that deal, then they're taking Creed Humphrey. So if I can't make the trade, I take Creed no matter what. That's my personal opinion. So I'm going to run you guys through the trades quick. We have one offer. I wouldn't make it. I mean, I wouldn't. What do you guys want to do? I mean, you can move down 9 spots. You probably will miss out on Creed, in my opinion, but you gain the 64th pick. So that's not bad. I don't know what you guys think of that trade. I'm kind of with like what Jimmy said. I'm ready, full-blown Creed. You guys know how I feel. So you guys know how I feel in the situation. Full-on Creed, unless Owusu Koromoa or Horn is there, try to make the trade. If I can't make the trade, I take Creed no matter what. So it's Creed. If I can't make that trade, I'm taking him. So doesn't seem like anybody wants to trade. I'd say, the consensus is Creed. So let's do it. Let's go. Let's take Creed Humphrey, my guy, cerebral center, just like Nick Mangold, reading the defenses, film junkie. He's going to be vital to the development of Zach Wilson. Him and Zach Wilson are going to grow together and become amazing. There goes Jimmy's guy. Would he pay? He said if Pay was still on the board, he might consider taking him. Pay was there. So Pay was there. Okay, so we got 2 trades on the board. It's a big drop. So we got the 34th pick right now. Remember, the 34th pick is basically a first-round pick because it's the second pick in the first round. So this is basically a late first-round pick. And we're dropping all the way to 78. So I don't like that one. This one's a little better, but still not a fan because, again, the pick we have right now is like a late first. So I don't want to make the trade. I think you guys know how I feel in this situation. If we just go by, who's top on the board. Okay, that's interesting. Gregory Rousseau is still on the board at 34. That's some interesting stuff. I did not expect that. What a turn of events. So, like Jimmy said, Quiddy Pay's the only player he'd pass on Creed for. Yeah, I agree, Jimmy. Yeah, I saw that too. I kind of zoomed past it, but you're right. That was pretty bad. I mean, hey, they're one of the few ones that's got Creed right. I mean, some of them have. I've seen Creed at like 80-something or 60-something. Man, I just want to close those out of disgust. Man, cerebral centers are rare. You don't find guys like that very often. So remember, like I said, this pick right now is like a late first. It's basically a late first round pick. It's your second pick in the second round. You guys know how I feel. I want Wyatt Davis. So Greg Rousseau is on the board. So that would be an interesting option right here because he normally wouldn't be on the board. Remember, Greg Rousseau had like 20 sacks. I'd have to look it up, but it's pretty close. He had like close to 20 sacks like in 2019. He sat out 2020, so a lot of people forgot about him. But Rousseau is somehow still on the board, and at 34, he's tremendous value. Remember, he was considered the best edge rusher in this draft for the longest time. Then again, he was sitting out. He's been out because he was sitting out with COVID. Pay has shot up the boards. Even his counterpart, Phillips, has shot up the boards. So up to you guys. You guys, again, know how I feel. I feel like offensive line is the key. You know how I feel. Offensive line, you got to build through the trenches. The interior. Oh, wait a minute. Did Wyatt Davis go? Hold on a tick. Am I losing my mind? Are we losing it here? What's happening? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh. I am losing my mind. I didn't see it. I am losing my mind. Okay, so this is an interesting turn of events, guys. Wyatt Davis is off the board. So you guys know how I felt. Wyatt Davis was my guy. You know, before he got injured, he was considered as good as Vera Tucker. It wasn't just Vera Tucker. It was Davis and Vera Tucker as, you know, the consensus best guards in the draft. Then Davis got hurt and everyone just forgot about him. If Davis is healthy, tremendous value, he should be here at 34. In this mock, he went to the Jaguars at 33. So Davis is no longer an option. In my opinion, if you still want to go with an offensive line, I would go with either Quinn Minirtz or Landon Dickerson. You guys know how I feel with Landon. I think he's an excellent center, plays very well, very agile, would fit well in this system. He would be an excellent guard at the next level if you didn't want to play him at center. Quinn Mertz is a beast. He's a mauler. He's exactly what Douglas likes. You guys remember I mentioned, you know, with Cameron Clark being like a smaller version of Becton, a mauler. Minirtz is like that too. So if you wanted to go with offensive line, Minirtz is a great pick, or Dickerson is a great pick. But again, Rousseau is on the board. So, okay, so Greg makes a good point. Greg says if Davis is off the board, maybe CB. So let's take a look at the cornerbacks. I did not look at them. So let's see who's available. Okay, I mean, I would either go Stokes or Samuel here. So Asante Samuel says that he's an outside guy. He says, I've been playing outside my whole life. I'm an outside guy. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news to Asante Samuel, but he's not an outside guy in the NFL. The guy's about 5'10", 180 pounds. Granted, he's amazing in coverage. Like, we're talking never allowed in 100-yard receiver ever in his whole time at Florida State. He's amazing in coverage. He played Kyle Pitts well in coverage, and Pitts has got like I think easily 100 pounds almost on him, give or take. So Samuel is projected to be a slot guy, but he's going to be one of the best slot cornerbacks in short notice. He will be one of the best slot corners very fast in the NFL. Eric Stokes, you guys know how I feel. He's shot up draft boards. Very interesting, because you have to remember, Tyson Campbell used to be considered the better pick. Tyson Campbell used to be above Stokes because he was their CB1. But Stokes has just broken it, man. The guy had a 4.25 40. He's just a burner, lightning fast. He's big at about, I think it's about 6 foot, 194 pounds. So perfect outside shape, excellent speed. Jumps a 38.5 vertical. The kid jumps like he's 6'5", 6'6". So Stokes has shot up draft boards. So my recommendation is if you guys wanted to go corner, I would go with either Stokes, Samuel, or Campbell. I know Campbell's much lower, but again, I pointed this out to you guys in the past. You can't go by these numbers. Remember, Jimmy pointed it out before, the fact that, you know, the Raiders pick was crazy. So Tyson Campbell should go above Molden and Robinson. James points out Green Bean wants Freiermuth. I believe he's still on the board. Yes, he is. So we do need a tight end. That's not wrong. We definitely need a tight end. I told you guys I feel like we're much better at wide receiver than people want to give us credit for. Again, Davis, Mims, Cole, Crowder, plenty of guys in reserve. At tight end, we're weak. Chris Herndon is a question mark, whether we want to accept it or not. Excuse me. Last year, he played well when given the opportunity, but his opportunity was far and few between, and he didn't get that many opportunities. Year before that, he was hurt. He only had a good rookie season. So he's a big question mark, and no one else is a receiving tight end. Wesco and Croft are locks for this roster. They're excellent blocking tight ends. But Pat Freiermuth, for people that don't know Pat Freiermuth, to give you the best example, Freiermuth is like, imagine a Kyle Pitts that was not as good, but an amazing blocker. That's a good way to think of Freiermuth. Freiermuth is the best complete tight end in this entire draft. He's an excellent receiver, excellent pass catcher, but also an excellent blocker. Exactly like Jimmy said, day one starter, pass catching tight end, block with the best of them. Literally like I was just saying. He is the best complete tight end in this draft. Again, best way to think of him, imagine Pitts if he just wasn't as unbelievable as he is, but still damn good, but also an excellent blocker. So that wouldn't be a bad one. Gary says check linebacker. See who's available on the linebacker situation. I'm not a huge fan. I like Jabril Cox, don't get me wrong, but I like Nick Bolton better. I like Nick Bolton more, and I think we can get him next. So I personally wouldn't go linebacker here. I would wait till the next pick, 66, and hopefully Bolton's on the board if you want to go linebacker. That kid, he's unbelievably fast, very quick for his size, big hitter. This dude is a wrecking ball hitter. He's excellent in zone coverage. He needs to work on man. His man coverage isn't great. But in zone coverage, this kid's like Richard Sherman on a linebacker position. He reads the defense beautifully, makes pass swats, incomplete. He's excellent at reading. So that would be an interesting option too. Frank says I've talked him into Pat. I mean, it would be an excellent option. Just pardon me, guys. I got to plug myself in. I'm dying over here. Just got to get the plug. But yeah, when you think of Pat Freiermuth, guys, Pat Freiermuth is literally, again, the most complete tight end in this draft. And we just said Chris Herndon is a question mark. We hoped he isn't, but the only positive with Herndon right now is Herndon is in a career year. And when players are in career years, they tend to step it up because they know money's on the line. This is his make or break year right now. So I'm hoping, my fingers crossed, man. I'm hoping we get stuff from Herndon. But Wesco, Croft, they're the blockers. They're going to make an occasional catch, but they're there to block. Griffin, I'm indifferent about Griffin. He's getting up there. So Pat would be a good option. It seems like you guys, I changed my pick, take Freiermuth. You know what? Let's do it. So Wyatt Davis is off the board. We want Zach Wilson to succeed. We want to give the offense the best weapons they could possibly have. We just gave Zach Wilson his cerebral center, his next Nick Mangold. Man, let's get him Pat Freiermuth. Let's do it. So Zach Wilson now has the most complete tight end in this draft. And the beauty of Freiermuth is, you guys remember, in the modern NFL nowadays, you put a guy in, he's blocking because he's a blocking specialist. You have a guy like, an excellent receiving option. Like, I think Pitts can block, but he's not going to block often. Man, Freiermuth is like that old school tight end, man. He could be blocking and bullying you out with a running play, or he could be running 50 yards downfield. So Freiermuth is an excellent pick. I know Green Bean's going to love it. So I don't like this one as much because we're dropping 3 picks. We're getting a 4th, but we have to give away the 186th. I don't like it. That one's a big drop. You're literally doubling your number. So you're going from 66 to 127. So if you guys want, we could do them, but I'm not a huge fan of those trades. Let's see who's on the board. So the top guy available. Okay, that's an interesting situation. Dylan Radnutz should be off the board by now. Radnutz is a very solid offensive tackle. In fact, he's one of the offensive tackles for, lo and behold, Trey Lance, the guy we were just talking about before. So Radnutz could be an interesting option. I think he'd beat out George Fant. In my opinion, from watching Radnutz, he's a very talented guy. I think he would beat out George Fant in camp, and he would be the starting right tackle. So Radnutz can be a starter day one. Again, projected a lot higher. He's a quite solid tackle. He's quite good. So that could be an interesting option right there. We didn't take a corner before. So let's see what's going on with corner. Linebacker? Okay, my personal pick, I'd go Nick Bolton. So I want to look at corner quick to see who's available. There's Elijah Molden and Campbell, but I don't know about you guys. I want to go with Nick Bolton. So I agree with James. Freiermuth could be our Kittle. It's a good comparison because Kittle can block. It's funny because I compared, Kyle Pitts to, oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. I compared Kyle Pitts to oh my God, Travis Kelce. What's going on with me? I compared Kyle Pitts to Travis Kelce because just like Kelce, he's an excellent receiver. But Kittle's a good comparison for Freiermuth because Kittle can block. He's a pretty good blocker. I actually think Freiermuth is a better blocker. Freiermuth is an underrated blocker. He's a better blocker than Kittle. In fact, he's probably one of the better blockers in this draft. So I'm with Rockaway Archie. We need a linebacker right now. Linebacker is a big hole of ours. We don't even know if CJ Mosley is going to be 100%. I mean, we're praying, we're hoping, but we haven't seen CJ Mosley in 2 years, and he's close to 30. So I hope he's not a question mark. We haven't heard that he's a question mark, but the truth is we don't know. So Frank talks about how the board falls. Considering how the board falls, that's the reason I bring up Radnitz. Again, Radnitz is an excellent tackle option. Should have been way off the board by 66. He would be our starting right tackle, but I'm kind of leaning toward Bolton because, again, we don't know what's going on a linebacker. The beauty of Nick Bolton is projected to be a middle Mike linebacker. So if we have a problem with Mosley, he can kick over. That's the beauty of Bolton. If there's an issue with Mosley, Bolton can kick right into the middle linebacker position, and he should succeed there fine. We need linebackers. You guys know we got Wyatt Davis. We took a flyer on him. He was a former first-round pick. He was supposed to be awesome linebacker. It hasn't translated. The kid is super strong, super fast, decent in coverage, but it hasn't translated yet. Yeah, like Rockaway says, we're really thin at linebacker. So I'm doing it, man. I'm taking Nick Bolton. And again, it makes sense because whether we want to accept it or not, Mosley's a question mark. Wyatt Davis is a question mark. Again, we took a flyer. Think of it just like, I don't want to freak you guys out. Don't think of it too much like Pierre Désir's situation, but in the idea that hopefully the guy pans, but if he doesn't, you cut him. You move on. So we're hoping that Wyatt Davis can be what he was supposed to be 4 years ago. We're hoping he can be that 22nd overall pick, that excellent linebacker he was projected to be. But if he's not, we can move on. We can wash our hands and move on to the situation. So we need linebackers badly. Let's go with Nick Bolton. So we got Nick Bolton. Again, the beauty of Bolton, he can kick into the middle. I'm watching, man. Okay, there goes Radnitz. I was surprised Radnitz was still on the board. So that was pretty shocking to me. I mean, again, if he's somehow there, easily I could see him beating out George Fant in camp. Okay, Dwayne Eskridge went high. Dwayne Eskridge went 83. Man, you guys know I like Dwayne Eskridge a lot. So we dropped back 2 picks, but we're gaining a 7th in 2022. I mean, what's the value of that? Like 2 points, 5 points? So that's not really value to me. That's more of a trade. That's not bad. So if you guys want to drop back from 86 to 98, you gain the 133rd. That's actually not a bad trade. So I'm going to bring up the board and show you guys who's available, but that's not bad. We're dropping from 86 to 98. We're dropping back 12 picks, but we're gaining the 133rd. That's not bad at all. I'd rather wait until like the hundreds to start trading back, but that's not a bad trade. So if you guys want to mull over the Saints trade, that's not a bad one at all. Again, you gain the 133rd pick and you're dropping 12. But let's see who's on the board. So if we go by the best available, I mean, we need a corner. We do need a cornerback. And I was telling you guys before, I don't get it. I spoke about this last week too. Maybe you guys can tell me something I don't get, because Tyson Campbell was projected to potentially be a late first-round pick. Go back to some draft boards and some, projections on Campbell from 4 months ago, 5 months ago. He was a projected late first-round pick. The kid is excellent in coverage. He's excellent in man and zone coverage. He's a good corner, good size, 6'2", about almost 190, give or take. I don't get it. I don't understand why, because Stokes moved up. Campbell fell down. That doesn't make sense to me. Campbell and Stokes were the reason that defense was so shut down. So if you want a corner here, Tyson Campbell plugged in next to Bryce Hall would be an outstanding tandem, guys. Outstanding tandem. Hell, Campbell could be the CB1, but Campbell and Bryce Hall would be an excellent outside tandem. So I'm thinking Tyson Campbell. I agree with Frank. Campbell has to be the pick here. Man, if you guys, I'm telling you, check it out. I don't get it. Campbell was at worst considered a second-round pick, like at worst. I don't get the slide. It's not like something happened to the kid. He's still excellent in coverage. Watch the film of him. Again, good in man, end zone. So John said he'd do the Saints trade. It's not a bad trade. It's not a bad trade by any way, shape, or form, but Campbell is projected 78. And again, I think that's BS. Campbell should really be in the 50-60 range. We're at 86. If we drop to 98, we probably lose him. And in my opinion, because again, Campbell is massively underrated in this mock, there's a huge drop-off after him. Like Trill to Ambry to Keith to DJ to Radarius. There's a huge drop-off after Tyson Campbell. Like we're talking second-round talent to like fourth-round talents, basically. So I'm kind of with you guys. Again, the way to look at it, John, it's not a bad trade by any way, shape, or form, but it goes by how the board falls. If there wasn't somebody we loved at this pick, like a Tyson Campbell, the trade's an excellent trade because you only drop 12 picks and you get the 133rd. We get basically another, pretty sure it's a fourth round, either fourth or early fifth. I'll have to look at the numbers, but that's a great pickup. But I'm telling you guys, Tyson Campbell plugged next to Bryce Hall, that's going to be dangerous. Man, we just got a cornerback duo. I don't want to say our cornerback situation is 100% fixed, but with Campbell and Hall on the outside, you guys know how I feel about Javelin Guidry. Guidry is massively underrated. Remember, stepped in for one of the best slot corners in the league last year. I didn't notice a difference. Did you notice a difference? It's because he only graded out a couple of points below where Poole was. And Guidry is an undrafted guy, only I think 22, 23 years old, under contract, and the kid is a burner. Like this kid is like, keep up with Tyreek Hill fast. So I'm excited about him in the slot, man. I really am. Okay, so we got a trade. That's not a bad one. And again, you guys remember how I felt. Once we get to the 107, 108 range, that's a sweet trade back time. Because fourth round on, there's a lot of deep talent in this draft. You guys could pick a position, and I could tell you 4 or 5 guys that I like deep in this draft. So we're only moving back 12 picks, so it's just like before. We're gaining the 168. Let's look at who's on the board. But I'm inclined to do that trade. So I know people like edge rusher. If you guys wanted to go with an edge, I think you guys remember my take on Twitter. Just like receiver, just like running back, I think we're better at edge than people are giving us credit for right now, man. You guys know how I talked about Lawson. Lawson is going to be unbelievable. Curry still got a lot in the tank, 10 QB hits last year. You got Quinnen and Rankins and Franklin Myers in the middle, and Foley, and Myers can play outside. You got Lawson, Curry, and Huff on the edge. I think we're better at edge than people are giving us credit for. So Rockaway says safety, depending on who. So I'm kind of with John here. John's saying make the trade. Rockaway's saying safety. Safety situation, again, also better off. Remember when we brought in LaMarcus Joyner? Remember I pointed this out. A lot of people were saying, LaMarcus Joyner, I don't get it. He's not a great corner. Yeah, he's not a great corner because he's a good free safety. When that kid plays safety, he's legit. In fact, when he played free safety throughout his whole career, he had over a 90 PFF rating. He's only got a 60-something PFF rating in the slot, but a 90-something rating at free safety. So you got LaMarcus Joyner at free safety, obviously Marcus May at strong safety, and don't forget about Ashton Davis. We drafted Ashton Davis last year in the 3rd round. That kid is very fast. Remember, he's a hurdle runner, he's a track athlete, and he's a big hitter. You guys saw that hit he put on Cam Newton. He took Cam Newton out of the game. So Davis and May can both play any of the safety positions as well as in the box because they're excellent at the line of scrimmage, blast the guy in the face. Joyner is good playing free safety, playing back in coverage. So I would look at the safeties. Rockaway says show safety, but I think we're pretty good at safety. Yeah. To be fair, I do really like Andre Sisco and Caden Stearns. That is fair. I do actually like both of those guys a lot. So if we were going to go with a safety here, I like Andre Sisco. I like Caden Stearns. Both of them, little different. Stearns is more of a big a hitter. Sisco's good in coverage, but they're both good at everything. I like them. I like Sisco and Stearns. We took a corner. So, I would do the trade. I don't know about you guys here. I would do the trade. So, yeah, Rockaway points out Sisco's a beast. I do like both of those guys. I feel like we're better at safety than, same thing, like people realize. Because, again, Marcus May and Ashton Davis were a decent safety tandem last year. Now you plug in Joyner. Joyner's an excellent free safety when he plays there. Excellent ball hawk, good at picking the ball. And May and Davis are big hitters, can play in the box, can drop back in coverage. So I kind of agree with you, James. I wouldn't say nobody's here for us. There are plenty of guys you can take, but that's a good trade. That is a good trade because we're only dropping back a couple and we're getting 168. So that's just another deep guy. You guys remember how I felt? Everything from the 4th round on, remember I said there's 4 or 5 guys at each position I like. If we could get 5 or 6 more picks down here, I'm down. Okay, so we traded. Let's see who they wanted to. Oh, that's lit. Okay, that's interesting, man. So the Vikings made the trade with us. They took Marquez Stevenson. So I told you guys about Marquez Stevenson. That kid is legit. He's slept on. Watch him in college. At Houston, he's about 6'1", 195 pounds. He's fast. He's quick. He's strong. He's got excellent hands. Catches almost everything thrown at him. Good catch radius. He's like a sleeper wide receiver 1. That's what Marquez Stevenson is to me. Marquez Stevenson is that guy like a Kenny Golladay. A guy that someone takes later in the draft, nobody saw coming, and becomes a wide receiver 1. That's Marquez Stevenson to me. So we traded back. Surratt's off the board. But again, we got Bolton. So we're good there. Wouldn't hurt to maybe take another linebacker. Because again, Mosley is a question mark. And whether we want to accept it or not, we don't know if Davis is going to pan out. So it may not be the worst idea to take a linebacker. So no trades on the board. No trades being offered. If you look at best players available, not huge of that. So let's see who we got. So let's look at some of the skill positions now, because 119 is a decent place to take a skill position now, because remember I said we're good at running back, good at wide receiver, but we can always use guys later in the draft. Now, I've mentioned to you guys before, I love Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert, same thing. He was a sleeper of mine. He was originally projected to be a 6th round pick. He's been moving up boards, Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert used to be around here where Kylan Hill was. Now Herbert is up here. Khalil Herbert is the full package. Receiver, speed, he's good. So Herbert would be an excellent option. I like Kylan Hill, but I'd probably go Herbert first. If we wanted to go with a wide receiver, I know Jimmy loves Seth Williams. So I'm waiting for Jimmy to say Seth Williams. I'm waiting for him. Ken mentions Radarius. If he's talking about Radarius Williams, man, that's my guy. Let's see if he's on the board. He is. So cornerback is still a weakness of ours. I mean, I don't know if you saw before, Ken, we got Tyson Campbell. Tyson Campbell is going to be a legit, at minimum, CB2. Minimum CB2. So him and Hall on the outside are going to be really solid. Can always use another corner. We don't know if Austin's going to be that great. I mean, we hope he has a bounce back season. So Radarius Williams is a good pick here. If you wanted to go with a linebacker, I like Charles Snowden a lot. I really like Charles Snowden, but I think we can have him later. There's no real edges I like with this pick. Be honest, no one really jumps out to me. I don't even know why I clicked on D-tackle. Let's look at the line for a sec. So if you guys are shooting out, if you wanted to go with an offensive lineman, Aaron Banks is an underappreciated offensive lineman. This kid is a big offensive lineman, but faster than people realize. So he would be an excellent pick. I don't love anybody else. So Aaron Banks would be an option. So if you want to go with offensive lineman, Aaron Banks is a great pick here. If you want to go with running back, I love Khalil Herbert, massively underrated. But again, Kylan Hill's a good option, but I go Herbert first. And then a cornerback, we got Radarius Williams. So those are a couple of good options. Yeah, so Ken says, I've been seeing Campbell in round 2. I was just saying it before. That's where he belongs. Before, like, Eric Stokes' name was a thing, Campbell was the guy. Campbell was the coverage guy, the CB1, the one making all the plays. Stokes was good, but Campbell was excellent. Campbell was considered a late first-round pick. I, again, expect him to probably go in the second. If we can get him in the third, that's huge. So James says build the wall. I do want to remind you guys, we didn't get a guard before. We were going to get Wyatt Davis, but Wyatt Davis went to Jacksonville. We missed him, guys. We didn't get Wyatt. We got Freiermuth. So, things worked out. We got our tight end, and we got the most complete tight end in this draft. Man, Pat Freiermuth is going to be amazing. But we only got one offensive lineman. We only got Creed. So, again, I was saying, if you guys want to go offensive line, I like Aaron Banks with this pick. If you haven't seen this kid play, Aaron Banks is a big kid. I think he's about, I don't want to get size wrong. Hold on one sec. I'll look it up for you guys. I think he's about 315-ish, give or take. Yeah, give or take. I was about right. He's about 310. So he's about 6'5", 6'6", about 310, but he is quick. He's fast. He's quick. He's agile, but he's also strong. So if you want to go with an offensive lineman, Aaron Banks is a good pick here. Aaron Banks could win out in camp possibly. Ken makes a good point. Man, Ken, I have no idea. Ken, I don't know what's going on, man. You remember I was tweeting about I think it was a little over a month ago. I was saying, Villanueva is available. We should bring him in as right tackle. He was an outstanding left tackle maybe not outstanding, but he was good. He was a good left tackle for his whole career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, always graded high in the 70s and 80s. Left tackles always transition better to right tackle. They always transition better because they're not playing on the blind side anymore. So I don't get it, man. I'm with James, taking Banks, but I don't get how Villanueva is still available. Doesn't make sense to me. I would love him. Man, if we could sign Villanueva, put him at right tackle, that'd be awesome. But James says, let's go with Banks. I'm with it. Let's get another offensive lineman. So now we missed out on Wyatt Davis before, but we got Aaron Banks. So let's see how this board falls. There goes Khalil Herbert. Again, guys, if you like running backs, you'll like Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert has been shooting up draft boards. Okay. So remember, we picked up an extra pick. We got an extra pick now. I don't like it as much. I mean, we only dropped 3 spots, and we move up about 15 in the 7th. That's not bad. I mean, I was figuring, with the 7th round pick, we're probably, I would say, going to take a kicker. Quick take for a second. Man, Borregales is special. I've said it to Jimmy before. I don't even know if Borregales is going to make it to 226. Man, Borregales, we mentioned it. We talked about it on the Weapons Hot podcast. Within 40-something yards. I think he's only missed 2 kicks. Something crazy. So, okay, I like that. That's a good move. I like that. Okay, KSE says counter. Good idea, my man. Let's counter. Let's do that a shot. So let's counter. Let's say instead of the 210, let's see if we can get the 190. Because then that's a sweet deal. Because we're moving back 3 picks. Oh, they took it. They took it, guys. So we only moved back 3 picks. And now we jump from 226 to 190. So that's really solid. That was a big jump. Kudos to us, guys. That was good. That was solid. Oh, if we were going to go with a wide receiver, I was going to point it out. You guys remember in our last mock, we took Anthony Schwartz. Check him out if you haven't seen him. I tweeted a video on him as a gadget option with Auburn. Man, when this kid runs, yeah. Thank you for the recommendation, my man. You called it. Shout out, KSE. You called it, man. Great idea. You recommended the counter. Brilliant. We got the 190. That was an excellent trade. Excellent trade. So we only dropped back 3 spots, but we moved up from 226 all the way to 190. That is a big jump. I love it. That's almost a 30-spot jump. You can't beat that. Okay. So let's see what we got on this board. Now, I was mentioning Anthony Schwartz again, guys. If you want to check out a video I tweeted, when he runs, it's like everyone else is running in slow motion. Man, this kid is unbelievably fast. Excellent deep threat option, which is something we could use, but also a gadget option. So Schwartz, if available, is an excellent pick, but he's gone. So at running back, I like a lot of people like Chuba Howard. I'm indifferent about Chuba. I like Kylan Hill. I like Kylan Hill a lot. Man, Kylan Hill can do it all, just like I was saying with Khalil. He's a pass catching back. He's quick. He's elusive, but he can also run through the gaps if you need him to. Kylan Hill would be an excellent running back pick if you guys want to go running back. If you want to go wide receiver, I know a lot of people like Sage Surratt. I'm kind of indifferent. I think an interesting sleeper pick here could be somebody like Tamori and Terry you could probably get later. So you got Tamori and Terry, you got Jonathan Adams Jr. Those are two guys I really like that are still on the board. Jonathan Adams Jr. and Tamori and Terry. We took a tight end, took a guard. Let's say you guys just thrown out, let's say you want to make the offensive line even better, which hell, you guys know I'm an offensive line guy. My philosophy, build through the trenches, man. Football is won and lost in the trenches. So George Fant was his first year starting last year. He's unbelievably athletic for a tackle. Unbelievably athletic, which just makes him fit great in this system. Man, you can send him downfield to block. Love it. But Cole Van Lanen is a sleeper in this draft. Cole Van Lanen, prototypical outside tackle size. He's like 6'6", 317, 318. He's very quick, elusive, good blocker. He's strong. Just like I mentioned with like Banks before, I like Van Lanen a lot. So Cole Van Lanen could push Fant in camp. Ken mentions Elijah Mitchell. I've mentioned him in the past too. Man, I like Elijah Mitchell a lot. Elijah Mitchell out of Lafayette is slept on. A lot of people sleep on that kid. He is also a complete package. So Elijah Mitchell's a really good pick. I like Kylan Hill a lot, but I also like Elijah Mitchell. So that's definitely a good option too. Ciro asks, who did we get so far? Man, Ciro, we're doing well. We're doing well, bro. So let me show you. So we got our quarterback of the future. We got Zach Wilson, the face of the franchise. We got our cerebral center, our next Nick Mangold, the man that's going to call out defensive shifts and alignments and grow with Zach. This is a great pick. We talked about how we were weak at tight end. We got one of the best tight ends in this draft. The second best receiving option next to Kyle Pitts, but an excellent blocker. Nick Bolton, excellent linebacker option. Really like this kid. Again, he could work on his man coverage, but the kid is dynamo in zone. He has excellent field awareness and vision. He's quick, elusive. Worst case, if Mosley has issues, he could slide in the middle linebacker Mike spot. Tyson Campbell is slept on. That kid could be a CB1, minimum CB2, and we got Aaron Banks. So out of this, in my opinion, I would say our biggest needs, we could still use another corner. Wouldn't be a bad idea to go skill position now. Again, go with a running back or a wide receiver. That's not a bad option. We could go with another offensive lineman. You know, again, might build through the trenches. We go with a tackle like Cole Van Lanen. We are weak at linebacker. Okay, Charles Snowden is still on the board. So remember what I was saying before. Whether we want to accept it or not, Mosley is still kind of a question mark. The guy's almost 30 years old, and he's been out of the league for 2 years. I hope he's back to his form. I really do. But again, Gerard Davis, he may not pan out. I hope he does. But he didn't pan out with the Lions. So if he doesn't pan out, Nick Bolton and Charles Snowden could be good options. Charles Snowden needs some work, but he is very good in pass coverage. He could use work on his tackling as well as his ball awareness, field vision, but he's very good in coverage. Very good in coverage. So if we wanted to go with another linebacker, that would be a good option. Rockaway, I'm with you, man. Snowden. Snowden, again, is an underappreciated linebacker. I don't get it. The biggest knock on Snowden, guys, they're like, Snowden is not the best at ball tracking skills. He's not going to pick it. Okay, but you're sleeping on his coverage skills. Okay, he's not going to pick the ball. Big deal. He's going to bat the ball down, and he's going to play good coverage. So I'm kind of with you guys. Snowden at this pick. Snowden at this pick. I'm with you guys. So worst case right now, let's say, God forbid there's an issue with Mosley, or let's say Gerard Davis doesn't pan out. Well, we drafted Nick Bolton, and now we're drafting Charles Snowden. So we are much better at linebacker. And the beauty of both linebackers we took, Nick Bolton is excellent at everything, could work on man coverage. Snowden is excellent in coverage in general. So both of them are excellent coverage guys. Bolton, his field of vision is just amazing. Just his ability to track the quarterback and make plays, swat the ball down, get there on the tackle, and he is a wrecking ball. Man, when Nick Bolton hits you, you feel it. Okay, so I think we're good at linebacker now. I don't really like the edge options as much. I mean, Chris Rumph is a sleeper. Rumph is a sleeper if you want to take him in a little bit. Is not a bad pick at all. I'm not sold on everybody else. Let's see what we got. Corner. Okay, Radarius Williams is still on the board. Ken mentioned before Radarius. I've mentioned him, if you guys remember in the last mock we did. Radarius Williams is a 6'1", 194-pound corner that is very good in coverage. Radarius Williams is a prototypical outside cornerback that is very good in coverage. He could potentially push to start as well. So if you want to go with a corner, Radarius Williams is an outstanding pick here. Again, prototypical outside side, good speed, good agility, physical in coverage, very good in coverage. So Pedro says, why not draft an edge? You always got to remember it comes down to how the board falls. It comes down to who's available. Now, I do like, and I butcher his name. I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong. We'll just say Victor. I like Victor. Victor's a good option. I'm not the biggest fan of Shaka Tony, not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of the rest of these guys, to be honest. So I wouldn't mind Victor, but I'm not the hugest fan of him. So again, corner I think is another big need of ours. So Radarius Williams is still on the board. You guys mentioned you like safety before. Davine Diablo is an excellent pick. If you like a safety, Davine Diablo is an outstanding pick. That's a do-it-all safety. That's also a hard hitter. I mentioned before weapons, going with skill positions. It could help to, again, get Zach Wilson some more weapons. We got him his center. We got him a guard. We got him his tight end, but that's it. So it could be beneficial to get a wide receiver or running back. I mentioned, again, I'm a big fan of Kylan Hill, but Elijah Mitchell is not a bad pick. I like Elijah Mitchell a lot. I actually like both of them over Chuba Howard, in my opinion. So I would take either of these guys over Chuba. Wide receiver, again, I feel like we could get these guys later. The guys I like are Tamorrion Terry and Jonathan Adams Jr. So it comes down to if you guys want to maybe get a running back or if you want to go with defense and maybe get Radarius Williams and get another corner. Ken, you mentioned this. Is this happening right now? Are we missing some breaking news? Ken says Falcons trying to move up from 3. Is there some breaking news? Is something going on? Hold on. Let's check this out, guys. That's the beauty of the internet. We can just look it up right here. Let's see. Okay, so I hear that the Falcons are open to trading the number 4, which is what I expect. I mean, Ken says he's heard it all day. If anything, the Falcons are trading down. That's my opinion. If anything, the Falcons are trading down because they're sticking with Matt Ryan. If they're trading down, then they're going to accumulate more picks, which is smart. Again, they can do anything. Remember, the Falcons could take their quarterback of the future. They could take a top guy there to build around Matt Ryan, get like a Kyle Pitts or a Jamar Chase. They took Penei Sewell, I believe, in this mock. That's another option they could go. Or, again, like we said, they could trade back. So, Pedro says running back. Running back, again, is a good option. I mean, I think, again, our committee is underappreciated. I think we have a solid committee right now with Ty Johnson, Josh Adams, Tevin Coleman, who we just signed, LaMichael Perrine, I'm not a fan of, but again, he's not the worst pass catcher. So in that situation, he makes sense. So we could definitely do that. So what do you guys think? I would say right now the best option is either to go with Radarius Williams, who I like at corner. Again, he's an outside guy. This guy is an outside corner, and he's quite good in coverage. He's quite underappreciated. I would go with him, or I would probably go with either Kylan Hill or Elijah Mitchell. So, Ken, I remember before, Ken, you were saying, you loved Radarius Williams. I don't know if you still you also said you liked Elijah Mitchell. So either one could be a good option here. So it's interesting the way to go. You guys are, which again, I love you guys, debating other stuff. That's great. Talk it out in the chat, my guys. Talk it out. Have a conversation. I love it. I don't know, it's up to you guys. I mean, if I had to pick, it's tough. I would honestly say I think we're pretty good at running back. I mean, Elijah Mitchell might be able to be had with the next pick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with Radarius Williams. Because, again, we got Bryce Hall. Tyson Campbell is legit. That's a solid outside corner. Radarius Williams is slept on. Radarius Williams, again, prototypical outside size. He's got good speed, good agility. He's quite physical. I like everything I've seen in him. I like Radarius Williams a lot. He was one of my sleeper corners. Now, again, the reason I took Radarius is I don't think Radarius would have made it to 168. I think one or two of our running backs, actually, they both did. Okay, they both did. So that was my logic behind this, and I'm glad it worked out. So remember before, we traded, and we got the 168 pick. So because we traded and got 168, we were able to get our second cornerback, Radarius Williams, and now we can still get our running back. So my option to you guys would be, would you want to go with Kylan Hill, or do you want to go with Elijah Mitchell? Kylan Hill is a little bit more of the proven back. He's had solid production at Mississippi State, which is more of a proven school. Tougher defensive lines to run through would be a good way to look at it. So I would possibly choose Kylan Hill over Elijah Mitchell. But again, Elijah Mitchell is not a bad pick. He was a sleeper of mine, and he's been excellent at Lafayette. Ken says, why not Chuba? I don't hate Chuba. I mean, don't think I don't like him, but I would take Kylan or Elijah more. That's the way I look at it in this situation. Chuba Howard also is a little on the smaller side to me. I'm not a fan. I feel like he's too small. If I remember correct, Hubbard's about 209-ish, 210. Mitchell's about 215, and Hill's in about that range as well. So I think they're a little more solid. I like them a little bit more. So Pedro says go with Elijah. Rockaway, you mentioned linebacker. We got our linebackers, man. We got Nick Bolton, and we got Charles Snowden. We did good. We got two really solid linebackers. One in Bolton, who's like one of the best in this draft. Literally, other than man coverage, he's amazing in everything, in my opinion. And he can get better in man coverage. He'll work on it. And Charles Snowden is really good in coverage. He's a really good coverage linebacker, but needs to work on basically everything else. But it's there. Everything is there to mold him into a really good 4-3 outside linebacker. So it seems like you guys like Elijah Mitchell. So I'm going to say we'll go with Mitchell over Hill. Again, both are good options. I would probably take Kylan Hill, but Elijah Mitchell's also great. So let's take Elijah Mitchell. We now have another running back. We just added another running back to that stable. So my take, though, now that we have Ty Johnson, Josh Adams, Tevin Coleman, and now Elijah Mitchell, there's no way I don't think LaMichael Perine makes this roster. I just don't see it. I just don't see how LaMichael Perine would make the roster if we got Elijah Mitchell. I just see 0% chance of that happening. Okay, so let's look at best available. Ironically, Kylan Hill is up there. We took two corners. Just throwing it out because I am a big fan of him. I really like, I don't think we should take him because we took two corners already. I mean, we are weak at corner. So if you guys want to go corner again, I'll do it. I know Jimmy's a really big fan of Carrie Vincent because Carrie Vincent is a speed demon. That kid's a burner. But St. Just is a beast, guys. St. Just is 6'3", like 204 pounds, and he is quite quick. He's quite fast and quite quick for his size, but because of his size, man, he's a shutdown cornerback. You remember what like Antonio Cromartie used to be? That's what Benjamin St. Just can be. That rare shutdown corner that you could put on a big-bodied wide receiver and shut them down. So I think we're good at corner, but that's a decent option. Not a huge fan of any of the edge options. We went linebacker. Let's see what we got on offense. Okay, Cole Van Lanen's gone. I think Alaric Jackson, this is a little too quick to take him. Not a fan of the rest of the centers. Okay, so we didn't take a wide receiver yet. So let's say we want to stick with skill position. We got a tight end, and man, we didn't just get a tight end. Jimmy knows about him. I love the kid. I just didn't see any way we were going to get him. Because, again, I wanted Wyatt Davis with that pick. But if Wyatt Davis is off the board, I am not complaining about Pat Freiermuth. Pat Freiermuth, again, is an excellent receiver, excellent blocker, excellent at everything. He's going to be an excellent tight end one at the next level. But we took a running back. If you guys want to go with a wide receiver, a lot of people like Daz Newsome. I'm iffy on him. Sage Surratt, I like him, but I'm not 100% on him. I do really like Jonathan Adams Jr. I know people feel like it's a reach here, but I don't think it's 100% a reach. The reason is the kid played for Arkansas State. Arkansas State is an underappreciated college. People aren't paying attention to Arkansas State, but watch Jonathan Adams Jr. play. Man, Jonathan Adams Jr., I don't remember who it was. Somebody shared some footage of him with me, some film with him. I almost fell in love with him the second I started watching him because he is a very big-bodied wide receiver, 220-something plus pounds, and he uses his body. He's very physical at the point of catch. He's got an excellent catch radius, very, very physical. I've literally seen the kid turn around, have a corner run into him, and him still make the catch. So he could be an excellent red zone threat if you guys wanted to maybe go with a wide receiver here. And Ken mentions Janarius Robinson. I'm not 100 on him, but he's not a bad option. So that could definitely be a good sleeper. If you wanted to go with an edge, that could be a good option. If we're going to choose between Surratt and Newsome, again, I might pull a wild card here because, again, guys, ranking doesn't matter. Remember, we talked about that. These crazy PFN guys, they got Patrick Jones ranked at 120. Man, Patrick Jones is not 120. So you can't always go by these numbers. Jonathan Adams Jr. would be an excellent, I think, wide receiver option at this pick because, we have excellent speed guys in Davis, Mims, Crowder. Jonathan Adams could be a better version of Lawrence Cager, basically. Jonathan Adams Jr. is, again, very big, very physical, not the fastest guy, but excellent catch radius and makes really good contesting catches. So we could go with Sage Surratt or Daz Newsome. It's definitely an option here. So Pedro says go with wide receiver, which again is a great option. We could definitely use a wide receiver here. Now, we do also have the 190th pick, and I do think Jonathan Adams will be there. So between Sage Surratt and Daz Newsome, let's do this. So if Surratt, I look at more as a physical guy, we're going to be getting possibly Jonathan Adams. Maybe we can double down on wide receiver. So I think we could take Daz Newsome with this pick and then also get Jonathan Adams Jr. and get 2 wide receivers. I think that's a pretty good option. So we get Daz Newsome there. I think a really good pick. Let's see, the next pick we have. So I believe this is it. I think this is our last pick. Okay, so I would go with Jonathan Adams Jr., but to be fair, we do need a kicker. So Jose Borregales is still on the board. Here's the thing, though. Borregales is amazing, but I don't see anybody getting drafted beside Borregales and McPherson. So we could bring Patterson in as an undrafted guy. We could bring in Kessman. Not the huge fan of Norton. We could bring in Nagger. We could bring in any of those 3 guys as undrafted guys. So I would double down here and get that big physical wide receiver and take Jonathan Adams Jr. with this pick. I don't know what you guys think with that. I'm with you, man. Great option, right? Double down at wide receiver. And the beauty is Daz Newsome is a little bit of like, kind of a do-it-all. He's a mixture kind of wide receiver. Jonathan Adams is a big guy. He's a physical beast. So there we go. So our draft is done. We just got to let it all play out now. Benjamin St. Juste just went off the board. Sage Surratt just went off the board. Carrie Vincent, that's Jimmy's guy, man. Carrie Vincent, Jimmy really likes him. That kid is very fast. Very, very fast. Not that big, but very, very fast. Okay, so we're making our way to the end, working our way through the draft. Only got a little bit of more picks left. And then we will go over what we got. But I think we killed it, guys. I think we did a great draft. I love doing this with you guys because, extra opinions. I love telling you guys, about all these prospects. You guys tell me who you want to go with. So far, man, I think we've done amazing. All 3 drafts we've done together over the last 3 weeks. I think we killed it. Like Noel says, shout out to Noel. Appreciate you being here, my man. I like the draft too, man. I think we've killed it these last 3 collaboratives. I say Joe's got to get us on the phone, baby. Joe's got to get us together because we do some good mocks. We really do. We had a great one, I think, 2 weeks ago. We had a great one last week. And I think this one is really, really solid too. So look at what we got. Obviously, our quarterback of the future, our cerebral center. Again, Pat Freiermuth, guys. I want Wyatt Davis with that pick. But I'm not mad with Freiermuth. Guys, watch Pat Freiermuth play. He is without question the most complete tight end in this draft. Easily the most complete tight end. Excellent pass catcher, excellent route runner, great hands, and a very good blocker. Nick Bolton, told you guys how I feel about him. Tyson Campbell, could be a CB1, minimum CB2. Aaron Banks, that's an excellent guard. Excellent guard pick at 119. I mean, he may not start immediately, but at 119, that's excellent value for Aaron Banks. Aaron Banks, again, he's like 6'6", about 3, I think like 10, 12-ish, 15-ish, in that range. He could push to start. So could Cameron Clark. Don't sleep on either of those 2 guys. Cameron Clark and Aaron Banks can push to start on the interior. Charles Snowden, remember I told you, outstanding in coverage, but needs to work on everything else. He's a good sleeper pick. Radarius Williams, very good outside corner. He's physical, big, strong, good in coverage. Elijah Mitchell, sleeper out of Lafayette. That kid is very, very good. Daz Newsome and Jonathan Adams are 2 very, very good wide receiver picks. Daz Newsome, I'll show you guys, bringing him up. Newsome, like I was saying, is on the smaller side. Newsome's like 5'11", 6 foot, about 190. He's quick. He's fast. He's elusive. And Jonathan Adams Jr. is a big beast. Jonathan Adams Jr. is 220-something pounds, excellently physical. Watch this kid play. This kid uses his body. He's, again, not the fastest guy, but he runs clean routes, and he uses his physicality to make excellent contested catches, very great catch radius, but makes these plays when a guy's right on top of him because he's so physical. So this is a really solid draft, guys. Quarterback of the future, center, amazing tight end, excellent linebacker, outside corner, possible starter on the interior of the line, another linebacker, another corner, running back, 2 wide receivers. This is a great draft, guys. I think we nailed it. Rockaway Archie says, good draft, nice job. Like I said, guys, Joe's got to give us a call. Joe's got to bring us in. Ken, great draft. Shout out to you guys. Always appreciate all you guys being here. Man, like I said, Joe's got to bring us in. Joe's got to get us on the phone. I'll get the chat going, and we'll tell Joe what we think. Because, man, we're doing it. These last 3 mocks have been really, really good. They've all been different. which is really awesome, man. They've all been different, but they've all been really good. You remember in the last two, we always took Wyatt Davis. But, man, Pat Freiermuth is an outstanding pick. Outstanding pick. So, yeah, what I'll do now is, before we finish up, I'll see if you guys have any questions. Ken says one more. I don't know if you got, would you guys want to do another one? Is that something you guys want to do? Would you guys want to do another mock? That's up to you guys. We can maybe do one more if you guys want. Or, if you guys have any questions, anything you want to ask about any of the players we took. If there's anybody on this board, anybody that you want to ask me about, anybody you want me to talk about again, any other prospect we didn't take that you want me to mention. And Noel makes a good point, man. He says, the more mocks we do, the more mocks you realize the Jets can build a team. And I've been saying that, man. Joe Douglas had an underappreciated free agency. Our defensive trenches are much better than people are giving us credit for. Our wide receiver core is quite deep, quite good, decent running back committee. We need to fix that line, fix the linebacker situation, maybe get a couple of skill positions later on. Obviously, we're getting our quarterback at 2. We can definitely be a team this year, guys. Again, if we nail the draft, we could definitely, like Noel says, we could definitely be a contender this year. I think so. I really do. And especially when you got a draft like this, man. Especially when you got a draft like this. When you got 2 offensive linemen, one that's going to be an automatic starter, Creed Humphrey, remember that cerebral center, the next Nick Mangold, calling out alignments, helping Wilson make adjustments, yelling at guards and ain't picking up their slack. Remember, that was my big thing with McGovern. Everyone's like, oh, it's on the guards. Well, McGovern didn't open his freaking mouth. You think that shit would have flown with Nick Mangold there? Nick Mangold would have clunked their heads together like they were coconuts. Man, Creed Humphrey is going to be a man amongst boys. He is going to call stuff out, and he is going to call you out if you don't block well. Freiermuth, you remember, excellent tight end option. Linebackers, corner. Guys, we killed it. We killed this draft. We knocked it out of the park. Okay, so Kevin's saying another one. So shout out to Kev. Appreciate you two coming in, man. Appreciate you being here. Good to be here. Glad to have you. Saying, do another cornerback in the 23-34. See how the mid-round shake out. Up to you guys. So we got 2 votes. Do you guys want to do another one? You guys want to do it again? What do you say? Kev wants to do another one. Ken wants to do another one. I'll tell you what, if we do another one, we'll bang it out. That's what we'll do. Like Ken said, quick. If we do another one, we'll bang it out. We'll go quick. You guys know I talked about all the picks. We'll go a lot faster through. Okay, so you know what? Let's do it. I'm feeling adventurous. I'm feeling a little adventurous right now. Let's do another one. Okay. I'm going to leave that one open, though, because, man, I think we killed that one. So I'm leaving that guy open. And I'm going to share a new tab with you guys. Okay. Kev's ready, man. He's like, let's go. Let's do it. I agree, man. Mocks are fun. And like Noel said, Noel nailed it, man. Noel said, Noel's down, but Noel nailed it before. I got to find it. Noel said, the more we do this, the more we can build a playoff team, the more we can make this work. And I agree, man. There's so many options, so many great things you can do. So let's do it. Let me share my screen. We're going to bang this one out. Bing, bang, boom. See how fast we can do this guy. Hold on, I shared the wrong one. There we go. Jets, 7 round. Let's move. And Trevor Lawrence, number 1. Who would have saw that coming? Shocker. We take our boy. We're taking Zach Wilson, future of the franchise, the face that we're going to love. I'm telling you, man, Trey Lance every time. Trey Lance at number 3. I'm telling you guys. Fits the system. Trey Lance at 3. Okay, let's bang it out. Let's do it. Oh, the Panthers stole Surtain. Ain't that some stuff? Giants taking Devonta. That makes more sense. Man, if you guys missed it, Kevin, in the last one, the Giants took Mac Jones. That's crazy. The Giants taking Mac Jones. I don't want to trade back. Let's not trade back. We got the 23rd pick in this damn draft. So you guys know what I want to do. I want to take our boy. I want to take Creed. Any objections? I know Kevin was saying, possibly to maybe go with another cornerback at 23 or 34. Let's just possibly see quick who's on the board at cornerback. You guys, okay, so just quick on Newsome. Greg Newsome was one of the best cover corners last year. Easily one of the best. Deserves the pick, except he's never played a full season in his whole collegiate career. You got to remember that. Greg Newsome, in his 3 collegiate years, has never played a single full season, and every year it's a different injury. So every year, one year was his groin, one year was his ankle. Every year it's a different injury, and some say he's undersized. I haven't seen a single person writing about Greg Newsome who doesn't have the word red flag in that paper. So I don't like him at 23. I'm very risky at that. A guy that's been injured every year, never played a full season because of different injuries. I'm very hesitant. So Kevin asks, where's Horn? Horn's got to be gone. If Horn makes it to 23, guys, you remember, like I said, if Horn or Owusu Koramoah make it to 23, you remember, I'm on the phone, I'm calling the Steelers, I'm making a trade to 24, and I'm taking Horn or Owusu Koramoah, and I'm taking Creed Humphrey, because those guys are legit. But Horn's off the board. So Horn's gone. Man, Caleb Farley checks out, but same thing. Back injury. You guys remember, I told you about, my back stuff in the past. I'll tell you from experience, back injuries are not something you come back from. You're never the same after that. Caleb Farley, everyone says he checks out, but back injuries, that is a life-altering injury. So let's take a look quick to see who all's still there. Okay, Cory Pay's on the board. That would be an interesting pick. So Cory Pay, as Jimmy says, he loves him. The guy is a beast. Cory Pay is I think Cory Pay's got 0% body fat. Cory Pay is just a beast. He's going to be, remember Lawson, that tank that blows through guys on the edge? Cory Pay is going to be that. So if I were you guys, again, I'm nervous on Newsome. Bad injury history, always different injuries. I'd go Pay or Humphrey. Yeah, Noel, backs ruin a lot of careers. And that's the thing, man. I can tell you from experience, back injuries are more often than not permanent. Everyone says that Caleb Farley checks out, but I'm hesitant. Same reason I'm hesitant on Trey Smith. Man, Trey Smith had blood clots in his lungs. That's a life-altering illness. That could come back 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. So that makes me nervous, man. That makes me nervous. I'm kind of with you, Ken. I don't want a running back here. I don't see the point in taking a running back at 23. Yeah, Pay on our line would be scary. So here's what I'm thinking. Let's try something here. Let's have a little fun quick. So Pay's still on the board. Pay usually is gone by 23. Let's see if we can make a trade with the Steelers to get 24 and also get Creed Humphrey. So let's do this. So I said it would take 34, 86, and 154. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if they do it. Okay, it's been declined. Let's go back for a sec, because persistence is always the key, baby. Let's do 34. How about 86 and 146? Because again, we're still getting Creed then. So you have to look at this as, yeah, we're giving away a 3rd and a 5th round pick, but we're getting Kwity Paye and Creed Humphrey. So let's see if we can do this. Declined again. Okay, so Kevin says, take Farley and let's see how it moves. Man, I couldn't take Farley over Pay. Just with the injury history, the back thing just scares the hell out of me. It really just does. But I want to see if I can make this trade. Let's try one more for a sec here. So with the Steelers, with the 24, let's give them the 34 the 86. And how about let's try next year's third? Let's try next year's third. Oh, man, they don't want to do it. They just don't want to give up the goods. Hold on. We'll try one more. We'll try one more. We'll be a little more, let's see. So we want 24. I don't want to give away 66. Let's do 86. What do you guys think? I mean, here's the thing. It is Creed Humphrey. Remember, Creed Humphrey's that cerebral center. We were taking him at 23. So the way we need to look at this is we're getting two guys that are worth a 23 pick. We're getting a Kwity Paye and a Creed Humphrey. I'm thinking maybe let's try 146 and next year's fourth that we got from Carolina. And they don't want to do it. They just don't want to do it. They just don't want to do it. Like Ken says, 3 first-round picks. That's the way to look at it, is 3 first-round picks. So you know what? I'm going to try one more. One more. This is it. Last time, because like Ken makes a good point. They really are 3 first-round picks. That's the way to look at it. So let's try 34. Let's try 86, 146, and 186. It's a lot to give away. Still declined. Okay, so I think we should go Paye here or Humphrey. Do you guys want to go Paye? You want to mix it up and take Kwity Paye? Kevin says without 66, I don't think they budge. I think you're right, but I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I would potentially give away 66 because, again, we're getting Kwity Paye. Remember, Kwity Paye should not be around at 23. Kwity Paye is amazing. He's going to be an elite edge rusher potentially. And we're getting Creed Humphrey. So let's try it. Let's just try one more. We'll try it like Kevin says. Well, we want the 34. Let's say the 66. And let's be generous. Let's try 86. I know it's a big jump, but again, it's 3 firsts. It's been accepted. Okay, it has been accepted. So now we can take Kwity Paye and we can take Creed Humphrey. So that's pretty sweet. So here's the thing. We did give away the 66 and the 86, but we just walked away with Kwity Paye and Creed Humphrey. I mean, that's insane. In the first round alone, we got Zach Wilson, Kwity Paye, who everyone's now saying is the best edge rusher in this draft, over Greg Rousseau, over Phillips, and we got Creed Humphrey. Man, that is amazing. I think that is pretty damn incredible. I'm with Kevin. Draft over. It's Miller time. Crack the beer, baby. Get the beers out. I'm with you, Kev. That's it, man. That's the gold. That is crazy. Ken, you say way too much, but again, I got to agree with Kev here. Draft over. So again, we gave away the 66th and we gave away the 86th. But like Noel said, games are won and lost in the trenches. We just got Creed Humphrey, and we got Kwity Paye. Man, guys, Kwity Paye, I don't need to say anything about him. Again, Kwity Paye's got like 0% body fat. You guys saw that kid. He is amazing. Most guys now, most everybody has Kwity Paye as the best edge rusher in this draft. So we just walked away with our QB of the future, the best edge in this draft, and the cerebral center. So we're dropping a lot now. So we did give a lot away, so we don't have another pick for a little while. So we got some time to kill. We got a little bit of time. But guys, again, Kwity Paye. Man, Kwity Paye is, watch this kid. He is, again, like I said, look at like a Carl Lawson. Beast, workout rat. The guy is jacked out of his mind. He's really strong, but he's also very athletic. I think Kwity Paye and Carl Lawson are going to be unbelievable tandems. Unbelievable tandems. Here's the thing, though. We gave away 66 and 86. So we're not picking again to 100-something. So we got to hit. That's the key now. we got to hit on every other pick. But like Kev said, man, Kev nailed it. It's Miller time. That's it. We killed it. I mean, if Joe Douglas can walk away with Zach Wilson, the best edge rusher in the draft in Kwity Paye, a guy that, again, is just a beast, and Creed Humphrey, whew. Like Ken said, he's dropping too much. And that was the point. I don't see Kwity Paye being available. Same reason, remember, I said that I would potentially try to make that trade for Horn or Owusu-Koramoah. I don't think we get either of those guys. I can't see Horn or Owusu-Koramoah being available with the 23rd pick or Paye. I just don't see it. I don't see Paye being available. So this actually isn't a bad trade. So we gave away a lot. We gave away a lot just now. So in this trade, we're moving back 3 spots. We're giving away a next year's pick, but we're getting the 169th. I'm down. I want to do it. I don't know about you guys, but I say we do it. Because again, we gave away a lot to be able to get Paye and Humphrey. So with this, we only dropped 3 spots. Yeah, like Noel said, we still have so many picks next year. We have an unbelievable amount of picks thanks to Joe Douglas. So again, we just walked away with 3 first-round guys. But we just dropped a lot. We didn't have any middle-round picks. So right now, we're only dropping 3. We're giving up next year's 7th, and we're getting the 169th. So I think this is a good trade. I think we should do it. I'm with you, Kev. Kev says take it. I'm with you. Again, we traded away so much, we need more picks. So we only dropped 3. We're at 110. Now, like Kev said, man, this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. Like, we just got ridiculous quality to be able to walk away with Wilson, Paye, and Humphrey. But we still have a lot of needs. We have massive need at cornerback, and we have massive need at linebacker. So if we look at the linebackers available, okay, Chaz Surratt is on the board. Chaz Surratt is one of my top linebackers in this draft. He is better than Snowden. He's not as good as Bolton. He's like in between them, but he's very, very good. So Chaz Surratt, athletic, agile, good in pass coverage. He would be an excellent pick right here at 110. At corner, I don't like the value as much. So if I were you guys, I'd be going Chaz Surratt. Yep, I'm with Kev. Surratt, pull the trigger, done. We just got a great linebacker. Now let's see. Okay, look who's going off the board. Okay, I think we're coming up in about 10 or so picks. We'll be up at the 140 range. So, like we said, we walked away with unbelievable talent, but we gave away a good amount. I think it was worth it, in my opinion. Like Kev said, it's freaking Miller time. You got Kwity Paye, Creed Humphrey, after getting Zach Wilson, Joe Douglas. We're erecting the statue. We're going to Florham Park, and we're building the Joe Douglas statue out of bronze the next day. But we got to hit on the rest of these picks. We got them. So we took our linebacker. We really need a cornerback. I would go Radarius Williams here. Radarius Williams is one of my favorite outside corners that's still available. What I would do here, because corner is such a weakness for us, and Radarius Williams, he's not one of the most elite guys, I would take Radarius Williams and then take St. Juste. That's what I would do. Yeah, I know, man. That's crazy. And we got Surratt. We gave away 34, 66, 86. We got Paye, though. So Ken says Radarius all day. I'm with you. So we need help at corner. I think our best situation right now is, again, we traded back and lost so much. I think it would be a good idea to double down on corner. What I'd like to do is get Radarius, and then hopefully with the next pick, St. Juste is available. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so that's not the worst thing. If you do, again, we need more picks. So we're dropping 30 spots, but we're picking up 3 picks. So remember, we lost a lot. If we do this, we're picking up 3 additional picks in this draft alone. I'd say do it. Okay, so Ken says no trade. Ken says cornerback double down. Okay, so let's do it. So you guys say cornerback double down, no trade. Ken says we're counter. Let's see. Let's give it a look. We could add in 234. That way, yes, we're dropping 30 spots, but we're gaining 4 picks. What do you guys think of that? Try 234? Noel says trade. Let's try it. Let's try 234. Nope, they declined it. Okay, so I say double down at corner here. So I would say either take the trade, and again, we're dropping 30 picks, but we're gaining 3 more. And remember, as we talked about in the last mock, there's a lot of depth in this draft. A lot of depth in this draft. And we killed the first round. I mean, killed the first round and got Chaz Surratt in the 4th, which is amazing. But we could stand to get 3 more picks. I would say 3 more picks or St. Just. It is 30 spots, though, like Kev says. It is 30 spots. So it is 30 spots. So I'm kind of with you guys. You know, Ken says take the trade. We need to fill holes. It is 30 spots, but we are gaining 1, 2, 3 picks. So let's take it. Let's do it. Now, maybe St. Just will still be available with the next pick. Then that would be amazing. Because remember, I was going to take St. Just there. So if St. Just is available, crossing fingers, at the next pick, we're almost there. We're almost there. He's there. Okay, so that was amazing, guys. That's awesome. I was going to take St. Just with that pick. St. Just is still here. We're going to get him, and now we still have 3 more picks. Check this out, guys. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Holy crap. Let me do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 6 more picks after this. We just pulled a Joe Douglas, guys. Remember, we wanted Denzel Mims. We couldn't believe Douglas traded back. Still got Mims. We just pulled a Joe Douglas. We wanted St. Just with the pick. We traded back. We got 3 more picks, and we're still getting St. Just, baby. So St. Just at 169. I mean, Ken, you say we can wait on St. Just? I wouldn't sleep on him. I wouldn't sleep on St. Just, man. St. Just is a very talented guy, and he's a big physical corner. We need corners. So remember, we got 6 more picks now, guys. Check this stuff out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is awesome. We have 6 picks, so let's go with best available. Kylan Hill's on the board. So remember, last draft we took Elijah Mitchell. We could do Kylan Hill this time, or we could take Mitchell again. If you guys wanted to go with a wide receiver, we could take Daz Newsome again. Daz Newsome is a very good pick. We haven't taken a tight end yet. Trey McKitty. Trey McKitty is a really good pick here. Trey McKitty, if you want to get a tight end, because we haven't gotten one yet, that'd be a good pick. At offensive line, we only got Creed Humphrey. So let's take a look at who we got available. No. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of the offensive line guys available. I'm not a huge fan of the options we have. So if I were you guys, I'm thinking tight end like we mentioned before when we took Freiermuth. Tight end is more of a need than wide receiver or running back. So I think I'd go McKitty with this pick. Ken says Hill then McKitty. Let's see. Well, it's only 2 more picks back, and McKitty's ranked 190. So Hill's 177. So let's take Hill, cross our fingers. Up. Oh, we lost out. Okay, that happens sometimes. So we lost out. We didn't get Trey McKitty. It happens. It happens. Kev says Gainwell. I'm pretty sure Gainwell's gone. I can't see Gainwell still on the board. Gainwell, yeah. If Gainwell's still available at 189, I remember, Kev, you said you're going to sprain your ankle running up there. Gainwell's definitely not there. So personally, I probably would have thought, McKitty might have filled more of a need. Let's see who we still got at tight end. I'm not a huge fan of anybody we got left. I'm not a huge fan of any of the other tight end options. Daz Newsom's still on the board. So if you want to get a wide receiver, Daz Newsom's a really good pick here. Let's see it. Linebacker. Yeah. We took our edge already. I wouldn't go edge. We took two corners. We already took two corners, but Carrie Vincent's on the board. So we could go Carrie Vincent, or we could go with Daz Newsome here. So I'm thinking, Newsome is a really good pick here, and we could use a wide receiver. So let's go with Newsome. Okay, we still got a couple more, man. That was the beauty of that trade. Beauty of that trade. We still got a couple more picks. Okay, so all the picks now are late, guys. All the picks now are going to be, hopefully we can hit. So let's see. Let's see if we can hit on these late guys. Believe we have 3 more, I think. Maybe 2. No, 3. Oh, they're back-to-back. I love this. I love it. Back-to-back picks are exciting. When was the last time you guys saw the Jets have 3 back-to-back picks? I don't think it's ever happened. I don't think it's ever happened ever. Well, the Jets have 3 back-to-back picks. So let's go with best available. We could use another lineman. I mean, we only took Creed Humphrey. So Alaric Jackson is not a bad pick here. Alaric Jackson is a guy that can play guard or tackle. Some say he projects better as a guard, which is something we need anyway. So Alaric Jackson would be a really good pick here. Tommy Kramer's not a bad pick. I think if you guys want to double down, offensive line, we only got Creed Humphrey, and we could use 2 guards. If you guys want to double down, we could take Alaric Jackson and Tommy Kramer. I think that would be a really good move. What do you guys think to that? So Noel says, yeah, we had back-to-back in the first round. I was talking about 3-man. I've never seen that before. That was crazy. 3 picks in a row. I can't remember the last time the Jets had 3 picks, or any team 3 picks. So Kramer's very versatile. You guys remember, I'm a huge Tommy Kramer fan. Tommy Kramer is a sleeper in this draft. Tommy Kramer should really be going in the 180, 190 range. This kid is big. He's a beast. He's a tough player. He puts people down. He's exactly what Joe Douglas likes in linemen. So let's double down. Let's go with Alaric Jackson and Tommy Kramer. So we just got 2 linemen. Now, we have 1 more pick after this. I say we use 240 on a kicker. So we can use this one on another skill talent. We took a wide receiver already. We didn't get a tight end. Let me look through the sleepers and see if there's... Okay, Luke Farrell isn't a bad sleeper option. If you want to go with, Hail Mary tight end option, Luke Farrell's not a bad option. So if we're going to go tight end, I would go Luke Farrell. Oh, wait. Matt Bushman? Matt Bushman's the BYU tight end. Matt Bushman, Zach Wilson. What do you guys think? I say we take Matt Bushman and give Zach Wilson his tight end. What do you guys say? That's what I'm thinking here. I agree, Ken. I'm not a huge fan of any of the tight ends. I'm really not. But again, I'm thinking, maybe either A, give Bushman back to Zach Wilson, or Luke Farrell has potential. I like his potential. So those could be 2 good options. We just went offensive line. We already took 2 corners. Or we only took 1 corner. No, we took 2 corners. We got our edge. Did we get a linebacker? Yeah, we got Chaz Surratt. So we got a linebacker. Okay. So what do you guys think? There's a couple of different options we can go here. Shout out to TO3. Appreciate you chiming in, my man. TO3 says, what wide receivers are available? So we did take Daz Newsome already. Daz Newsome has already been picked. We took him back at 189. But if we're going to go wide receiver, I would say Jonathan Adams again. Jonathan Adams would be a good option here potentially, or maybe Tyler Vaughn's. Everyone else, I mean, I don't hate Dead Fitzpatrick. Again, same thing. So not the best, Dax Milne and Matt Bushman are not great prospects. Let's just throw that out. They're not great prospects. But they both played at BYU. They both played with Zach Wilson. So you guys remember that year, when we took Mark Sanchez, and in the 7th round, we later got Scotty McKnight, a former buddy of his. So that may not be a bad option because, again, it's a late pick. I think it might not be a bad option to maybe get Zach Wilson's former tight end or Zach Wilson's former wide receiver. Again, they're not great prospects. Yep. Kev pointed out we just re-signed Daniel Brown today. Daniel Brown is a good receiving option, but he hasn't panned out really. That's the thing. When we first signed him, I was super excited. I was like, this guy, he's got wide receiver speed. Daniel Brown runs like a wide receiver, but he really didn't do that much. He could be a decent receiving option. He definitely could. Ken says get kicker now. I'm saying we get kicker later. We can get a kicker at 240. Well, you're saying also maybe get what? You're saying get Dax at 240. Okay, so that's interesting. So what do you guys think? Do you want to take Dax Milne now and potentially take Jose Borregales at 240? Or do you want to take Borregales now and Milne at 240? Kev makes a good point. Think of the offensive changes. I mean, again, when we first signed Daniel Brown, my first reaction was, man, this kid is fast. This kid is like a wide receiver playing tight end. He's fast. He's quick. Maybe it works out. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't see him making it out of camp. Unless he has a really good season, I don't see him making it out of camp. So Kev says Borregales at 240. So let's do this. Let's take Dax Milne now, and we just got Zach Wilson, one of his wide receivers. Not a bad option. This is a guy that has familiarity with Zach Wilson. He's played for years with Zach Wilson. It might wind up being a good pick. Okay. And now we take our man. We take the guy that hasn't really missed within 40 yards, Jose Borregales. Okay, so the draft's about over. But man, this is awesome, guys. This is awesome. We killed 2 drafts. We killed it. Man, we traded up. We got Kwity Paye and Creed Humphrey. Yet, in all the later rounds, we still got Chaz Surratt, very good coverage linebacker, Radarius Williams, and St. Juste, 2 guys he's definitely could be an outside starter year 1. St. Juste could develop into an excellent shutdown corner. Kylan Hill, all-around running back. Daz Newsome, very quick, elusive wide receiver. Double down on offensive linemen. Both of these guys can play guard or tackle. That's what's beautiful about Alaric Jackson and Tommy Kramer. Both of these guys can play guard or tackle. Both of these guys are beasts and maulers. We got Milne, then we got Borregales. My pleasure, man. Ken says, thanks for this. Glad we got to do 2 mocks. It was fun, man. And we killed it. And just like Noel, shout out to Noel, had said earlier on, this is the perfect example that we can kill it and really make ourselves a great team. If we kill this draft, we're not as far away as everybody says. Whichever one we use, whether we use that first one, remember where we killed it and got Freiermuth and Creed and Bolton, or this one. Both are great. So I'm going to put both of these mocks on Twitter. Both of them are amazing. I think you guys did an excellent job. Phenomenal work. Like always, I appreciate all you guys being here. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. Thank you for being here on your Monday night. I appreciate all of you. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you guys next Monday. Take care. Had a lot of fun.